most wonderful news for you.
I can't believe the news today.
Oh, you want to hear the news?
Give me the news.
Well, here's the news.
News. Corporate earnings statements now based on actual figures minus the stuff our accountant shredded.
Now with unbalanced balance sheets. This week in 1973, the Edgar Winter Group followed up the success of Frankenstein with the second major hit of their career, and this one had words.
The mountain is high, the valley is low, and you're confused on which way to go. So I've come here to give you a hand and lead you into the promised land. So come on and take a free ride. Come on and sit here by my side. Come on and take a free ride. All over the country, I've seen it the same. Nobody's winning at this kind of game. We gotta do better. It's time to begin. You know all the answers must come from within. So come on and take a free ride. Come on and sit here by my side. Come on and take a free ride. Come on and take a free ride. Come on and take a free ride. Come on and take a free
Free Ride from the Edgar Winter Group, released this week in 1973. And now, more news. In 1978, Chrissie Hynde was signed to a record deal but still needed a band. The label hooked her up with drummer Gas Wild, who brought in bassist Pete Farndon, who got guitarist James Honeyman Scott involved. Gas was fired and replaced by drummer Gary McElduff, but then Honeyman Scott backed out, only to return as soon as he heard Nick Lowe was producing the single. McElduff was then replaced by drummer Martin Chambers, and the Pretenders were born. Simple, huh? And this week in 1981, their self-titled first album was certified platinum.
Gunpowder in pocket. Gunpowder, I'm gonna use it. Intention, I'm feeling mental. Gonna make you notice. Got motion, restrained emotion. I've been diving, detour leaning. No reason, just seems so pleasing. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms, gonna use my legs, gonna use my style, gonna use my side step, gonna use my fingers, gonna use my imagination. 'Cause I gonna make you see. no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. I got rhythm, I can't miss a beat. I got a new skank, so reach. I got something I'm winking at you. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms, gonna use my legs, gonna use my style, gonna use my side step, gonna use my fingers, gonna use my imagination. Oh, 'cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me, 'cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. And when you walk,
The Pretenders and Brass in Pocket. And now news keeps on rocking. Well, at least talking. This week in 1962, a drug overdose was cited as the cause of death of screen legend Marilyn Monroe. Happy birthday, Mr. Coroner.
Stop it. That is evil, and I apologize to the entire class for not bringing enough gum.
This week in 1963, the original Beach movie Beach Party opened, starring Frankie Avalon and former Mouseketeer Annette Funicello.
We're surfing all day and we're swinging all night. Vacation is here. Beach party tonight.
This week in 1968,
I shall be released.
the band released their first album, Music from Big Pink. This week in 1971, the Moody Blues released this classic written by Justin Hayward.
And it was really overwrought. Quite tasteful.
Thinking about our fortune, and I've decided that we're really not to blame. For the love that's deep inside us now is still the same. And the sound we make together is the music to the story in your eyes. It's been shining down upon me.
Moody Blues and The Story in Your Eyes, released this week in 1971. This week in 1983 in Texas, David Crosby got 5 years in prison on charges of cocaine and weapons possession. This week in 1986, after serving just 5 months, Crosby got out on parole. This week in 1981, Stevie Nicks released her first solo album, Belladonna.
Sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh.
And this week in 1947, in Scotland, the most outstanding lead singer flutist to start a band named after an 18th century agriculturalist was born. Happy birthday to Ian Anderson.
Happy and I'm smiling, walking miles to drink your water. You know I love you, and above you there's no other. We'll go walking out while others shout a war's disaster. Oh, we won't give in, let's go living in the past. Once I used to join in, every boy and girl was my friend. Now there's revolution, but they don't know what they're fighting. Let us close our eyes outside their lives, go on much faster. Oh, we won't give in, we'll keep living in the past. Oh, we won't give in, let's go living in the past. Oh, no, no, we won't give in, let's go living in the past.
Jethro Tull, Living in the Past. And that's it for news in the present. Oops, now it's in the past.